watching the selection show, your girls could not have been more enthusiastic about where they placed, but we all knew that they were going to hear their name called. What is this time of year like as their coach and getting this annual trip back to the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. It never really gets old, and you work hard all season long to get the opportunity to play in May, and so even though we knew we were going to be selected, it's still a real joy to have the opportunity, and we're really grateful for it, and we're trying to prepare as hard as we can and just savor every second we have.
What is it about this group that has worked for this year? I know each team is individual year to year, so what is it about how they've come together?
Yeah, I mean, I think this group is coachable. They are a real collective team, and they've worked hard throughout the season. And so, in my opinion, when you have a team that's coachable and they work hard, the potential is really high for them to do great things. So really have a lot of belief in this group, and I'm excited for them to have the opportunity to play a great team on Sunday.
Both Sam and Sammy talked about just having new pieces to this team this year. From a coach's standpoint, how much more rewarding is it to see a new group of girls come together and still reach that same pinnacle?
Absolutely. I think it's exciting. It's a different challenge, and if it was the same every year, it wouldn't be as fun. So it's a great challenge to have new people, to try to integrate those people throughout. And as I said, I mean, the coachability has made it a lot of fun.
You mentioned fun. Are you still having fun doing this?
Absolutely. I think that I've learned quite a lot over my coaching career, and I think now more than ever I have just this open-mindedness to learning and growing and kind of being a better coach each day that goes by. There's always challenges, there's always ups and downs, but I feel that, the experiences that I've gained throughout the years have really helped me become equipped for what we face and be excited about what we face.
You mentioned those experiences. How does that experience help this time of year especially?
Yeah, I mean, I think it just gives you, a level of comfort, a level of peace in terms of if we work our hardest and do our best job and are smart, we're going to put ourselves in a good position. It doesn't guarantee results. We have to go out there and do it, but it's such a fun thing to develop young people and to see them grow and just instill confidence in them and find out how to believe in themselves. That's something they're going to carry with them forever.
What does it mean to be home?
Oh, being home is a big deal. We worked hard for that, and being a top 3 seed is a huge thing. So we have a great following for Northwestern Lacrosse, the Lake Show, and we just really encourage people to come out and support. It's not an automatic that we win games. The fans are a big part of it and the support system, so really want to make sure we can get people here. It's a great way to celebrate your mom on Sunday.
Awesome. Thank you.
Coach, so a lot of potentially familiar opponents in your side of the draw. What do you make of that, especially coming off some of the lessons that your team learned from the Big Ten tournament?
You mean the draw, like the teams that we're playing, or the draw, like the physical draw?
The teams that you could potentially play in the tournament.
Okay, got it. I got confused there for a second. I think familiarity, it's great, but I think that you still have to do the work and try to be a better version of yourself. I think we don't know who our opponent is yet. We don't know if it's Akron or Michigan, so we're really just trying to focus on ourselves, prepare as hard as we can, and then when we find out on Friday, we'll start, assessing the opponent.
And then in that Maryland game, obviously you guys had a lot of key contributors off the bench, like Aditi Foster scoring the game-winning goal, Noel Cumberland. How much do you really, especially headed into the tournament, emphasize sort of everyone doing their part, even if they may not be showing up on the stat sheet as often?
it's essential. Everyone has to contribute to the success of the team. And I think that's the coolest part of May, is that you never know who's going to step up in May. And there's always someone new. Historically, we've had a tradition of that. I can think back so many years to our early championships, and you know, a lot of times those young players, they have that experience from playing all season long, and they're ready and they're equipped to step up. Or even players coming off the bench, they've been working every single day and their moment comes. So that's the exciting part, and we trust every single player on our squad to go in there and make a play.
You guys have had quite a bit of time off between games right now. What's the mood of the team been like? What's the focus been as you've been kind of waiting?
Yeah, we've talked a lot about us versus us, especially not having an opponent for a decent amount of time. We really just focus on ourselves and getting better and going over film clip from past games and just trying to fix the stuff that maybe went fine but could have been better, because the team's going to playoff, it's do or die. So everyone's looking to exploit certain things. So I think just making sure that we're pushing each other to the fullest potential and making sure that we're getting each and every person better every single day at practice.
I loved watching the video Sunday during the selection show. You guys all went crazy, but we all knew you were going to get in. So what does it mean to you guys to be able to be home and to be the 3 seed and to have this opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just so cool that we, one, get a bye the first round. I mean, not having to play 2 games in a weekend is huge for our bodies, so that was really exciting. And then just to have the home crowd, I mean, we haven't been able to play that many games out here, so I think being able to have games out here and knowing that we at least have 1 home game left is really, really cool. And I think it's also like cool to see kind of who's in your bracket and see like what teams you could potentially play. So I think that was also an exciting factor.
What does it mean to have a team and a coach with so much championship level experience as you head into this time of year?
Yeah, I mean, it means the world of difference. I mean, we have a lot of people who have experienced this sort of thing before, which is awesome because we have that prior experience. We know what it takes. And I mean, Kelly is one of the most winningest head coaches in lacrosse. So I think it just allows us to trust her so much because we know that she knows what it takes for us to get to where we want to be. So just having her, and I mean, the experience is unmatched. So I think that's just a really cool thing.
You talk about us versus us and having the experience, but how do you kind of identify this year's team for yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have a lot of new people, which is really cool. So I think it's just like finding our own identity, which I think we've been doing throughout the season, which has been a really exciting thing. And I think too, just like embracing every single thing. Like we have a lot of people who maybe aren't scoring all of these goals, but are helping that transpire from the DN to like setting a pick, that getting someone open or a cut through. I think that's been a really cool thing. And then seeing people step up in ways that maybe they didn't know they were going to have to. So that's also been a really cool thing.
Sammy, this is your final NCAA tournament as a senior. What are your thoughts and emotions just going into that?
I mean, I have 1 game left, and I think that's a really cool thing. I think it's scary, but it's exciting at the same time because I get to play with these girls at least one last time, and I think playoffs are always fun. It's do or die. So you're going to get the best out of every team that you play. So just making sure that we bring our best every single time. And I mean, I'm just really grateful that I get to be in a position that I am able to play in May with these girls.
You guys, because of the history, probably always get everybody's best shot, right? I mean, even throughout the regular season, how much does that prepare you for these do or die moments in May?
Yeah, I think it prepares us really well. Even like the out of conference games that we play a lot of top teams, which is really nice. So when it comes down to this situation, we know that we're able to do it and that we've done it before. I also think we've talked a lot about being like the tougher team in these moments and making sure that we're giving every single thing that we have in every single game, because that's what we're going to get from our opponents. So I think pushing ourselves in practice, and I mean, we're playing against some of the best attackers in the country, so making sure that we're pushing each other is just really going to help us in those hard moments in the game.
You guys make it annual to be hosting the first couple rounds and then going on to the finals. Does this year feel different? Does it feel different? Does it feel like a different group that you guys are bringing into the postseason?
Yeah, I definitely think, I mean, obviously we have a lot of new people and that's always the change is always hard, but I think that some of the new girls have really embraced our culture here, and I think we're just really pumped and we're really excited for this opportunity.
What is that culture here?
Yeah, I think we just have a really great culture of togetherness and compete and just always pushing each other to get better no matter what your role is, and everyone really embraces that role, and I think that is just super important to our program.
How does Kelly set that tone?
Yeah, I think she really places an emphasis on our culture and our compete. I think that we always talk about wanting to be the best, and playing against the best in practice will push us to be better in games. So she's really high energy and high focus on that compete level.
Sam, what are some of the lessons that the team learned from the Big Ten tournament? How do you plan on carrying that into the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, I think, we just really learned that no team is going to back down to us, even no matter what the score was. Obviously, we have a few teams from the Big Ten in our part of the bracket, and we're super pumped to get an opportunity to play those teams again. We love the compete that is in the Big Ten, and I'm really excited for that.
We just learned that you guys really haven't played outside here much this season, so what does it mean to have the opportunity, higher stakes, win or go home, to be able to play at home outside?
Yeah, I think that, obviously this new field is just so incredible, and we're super pumped for this environment. Lacrosse Night in Chicago was an incredible experience, and I just think we have some of the best fans ever, and they all come out and show out really great, so we're excited to play more outside games.
What does Kelly and this team know about what it takes to win this time of year? Because obviously you guys have gotten it done mostly the last couple of years.
Yeah, I think that we just really put a lot of emphasis on focusing on ourselves, not really focusing on outside factors that we can't control, just making sure, obviously we know it's win or go home, but we're more focused on what we can do to play our best instead of what we can do to have the end result we want, which I think is really important.
Obviously, your role in the draw has just been so critical for Northwestern all season, and it will be in the tournament. Is that something that you sort of carry with you as something that you strive to do on the field?
Yeah, I think that the draw is very important. Obviously possession in the game is huge, and I just know that my teammates all are relying on me to get the ball, and I put a lot of energy and focus into winning the draw or just doing well on it, so I think it's super important, and I'll just continue to put as much effort and focus into it as I can.
You guys have had a long break between games. Has that been valuable, you think, and in what ways?
Yeah, I think it allows us to push each other harder in practice, up the intensity level, because we're not wearing on our bodies as much, and we're not post game trying to not wear on our bodies as much. So I just think we've been able to push the intensity level, and again practice against each other, compete really hard, and be the best, play the best.